visiting our channel, you are indeed welcome. Remember to subscribe, give us your likes, and don't forget to also share. In the news, Nigerian government pays 200,000 for security guards, but they only get 40,000. Adams Oshiomhole. The Senate on Tuesday held a heated debate over a bill seeking to regulate private employment agencies in Nigeria's informal labor market. The bill, sponsored by Senator Mohammed Sani Musa, proposes to empower the National Directorate of Employment to issue licenses and oversee the operations of private labor recruiters handling domestic workers, apprentices, interns, and other informal workers. While the bill was pitched as a way to sanitize employment practices and provide social security for informal workers, concerns quickly mounted over the unintended consequences. One of the most alarming revelations came from former Edo State Governor and current Senator Adams Oshiomhole, who decried the growing abuse of contract staffing, especially in federal ministries and banks. He disclosed a disturbing trend where security guards and similar support staff are technically employed through third-party contractors, even when their services are rendered to government agencies. Nigerian government pays 200,000 naira for security guards, but they only get 40,000 naira. Oshiomhole stated, adding that the bulk of the salaries are pocketed by private labor contractors. According to him, these agencies act as intermediaries, receiving full payments on behalf of workers, but only handing out a fraction of the actual to the employees. He further warned that expanding licenses power to NDE, an agency originally set up for skill development and short-term employment, might legalize more exploitative practices under the guise of regulation. Other lawmakers echoed the concern, emphasizing that the mandate of licensing employment agencies currently rests in the Federal Ministry of Labour and Productivity, not the NDE. They cautioned that the bill could open the floodgates for unregulated labour markets and empower dubious individuals to exploit desperate job seekers. Despite the backlash, the Senate resolved that they'll pass they resolved to pass the bill for a second reading, redirecting the Committee on Labour and Employment to review it thoroughly. The committee is expected to harmonize this proposal with a similar bill already at an advanced stage and report back in 6 weeks. Whether the bill will ultimately protect or harm Nigerian workers remains to be seen. Honestly, Nigeria is really a serious country indeed. Why do I use the word serious country? I don't want to use a negative term. I don't know why some people will sit down in this country and you look at your fellow compatriot and you begin to exploit them. It's a shameful thing that here in Nigeria, not talking about private establishment now, government agencies, forest guards, people working in security at the gate of government house, by the allocation given, by the employment given, they are supposed to be paid 200,000 naira for security. And at the end of the day, because they are recruited through a third party as private security agencies and they are agents for private companies, they are giving 40,000 naira. I don't know, where is the conscience of the owners of these so-called, agencies? How can you take 160,000 naira and you give 1/5 even to the person who is going to do the work? What exactly are you trying to do? You just, in our own country, we are enslaving ourselves. Then we are now complaining that the colonial masters came even to enslave us. No wonder. Were we not the one too selling ourselves into slave trade? Because the wise men couldn't get anybody as a slave, but they had to take human beings in exchange for mirror. And those who happen to be chief then begin to sell their own. And indirectly, it is still, operating again. How on earth will you, because you are a businessman, yes, you have established a company, a recruiting agency, you are helping people to get job. Yes, there is nothing wrong for you to get your commission or your own cut of the whole thing. But in a situation whereby it's a reverse way. You are taking 80% and giving only 20 to the person. It is so unbecoming, and it's such a pity in this country. And now the Senate is trying to sit down again and give the assignment to National Directorate of Employment, such that anybody, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can just go there and apply. And immediately they apply, they're given the power to, serve as recruiting agency or any government, whatever. You just recruit youths and begin to, shortchange them. I think we should be wary of such things in this country. I'm so surprised that the house even allow it to go through the first reading. They're supposed to reject it completely. Well, maybe they can fine tune it and then ask the Ministry of Labour and Productivity to still hold on to that very duty rather than giving it to the National Directorate for Employment. But it's so unbecoming. I'm just touched by the fact that can the government, the federal government, pay 200,000 naira on people, and then some set of contractors come in between, middlemen, giving 40,000 naira to them. And within a little time, you say this country is our leaders that are causing problem. Is this not ourselves also? Because who are these people that are middlemen? Because I don't know who are working there. But it's such a pity that those who are even in the House of Assembly, they are aware of this thing and they kept quiet. For an Oshiomhole to come out and speak about this thing, I remember from his antecedent, he was a former Labour leader. So during his time, he should have been aware of things like this, and maybe that is where he's bringing the idea from, remembering the fact that there are some middlemen there. And I expected people like him to have fought this thing long ago, but thank God there is still an opportunity. He should be able to stand his ground and fight this thing out, because yes, I am so happy that as he spoke, the matter sparked a robust debate in the house. But we don't want it to end in the area of being a robust debate. It should finish at the implementation stage. They need to cut off the middlemen very well, and they need to also regulate these recruiting agencies, that this is how it's supposed to be. You don't turn people to staffs that are not regularized, they are not full staffs, and then you are taking their pay, giving them stipend. Small time you will say they are not faithful to the work, they are stealing, while you are busy also milking them. So these are the things I expect them to put an end to, even in the Senate at this present point in time, so that they can also help the effort of the executive arm of government to get the dividends of democracy to the people. Remember to like, to share, and to subscribe, and keep coming for an update on matters like this.